changes everything except something within us, which is always surprised by change. Patience, that blending of moral courage with physical timidity. A strong woman who recklessly throws away her strength, she is worse than a weak woman who has never had any strength to throw away. Happiness is but a mere episode in the general drama of pain. To find beauty in sadness is the most beautiful thing. A woman would rather visit her own grave than the place where she has been young. The value of old age depends upon the person who reaches it. In time we hate that which we often feared. The years between 50 and 70 are the hardest. You are always being asked to do things, and yet you are not decrepit enough to turn them down. Everyone is getting to be absolutely superficial, and everybody's getting to be absolutely artificial. To see his friends successful diverts a man from his own failures. A man marries to have a home, but also because he doesn't want to be bothered with sex and all that sort of thing. The sudden disappointment of a hope leaves a scar which the ultimate fulfillment of that hope never entirely removes. If all hearts were open and all desires known, as they would be if people showed their souls, how many gapings, sighings, clenched fists, knotted brows, broad grins, and red eyes should we see in the marketplace? You can do anything in this world if you are prepared to take the consequences. The offhand decision of some commonplace mind high in office at a critical moment influences the course of events for 100 years. To find where you fit in is the exact thing poets and painters and musicians have to do. That bard must have a bow of brass who can write a satire upon a tradesman. In some cases, an imaginative jumble or juxtaposition is what we mean by metaphor. The value of contrast is not only in the contrasted parts, but in the unity it reveals. A resolution to avoid an evil is seldom framed till the evil is so far advanced as to make avoidance impossible. The main object of religion is not to get a man into heaven, but to get heaven into him. Precedent is a word not in the dictionaries, but frequently on the lips of the aged. Thought is the labor of the intellect, reverie is its pleasure. What's the use of thinking and brooding and getting nowhere? Love was a sort of worship for him, and he meant to suffer for it. Time, which sees all things, has found you out. My argument is that war makes rattling good history, but peace is poor reading. Everything comes to him who hustles while he waits. There are people who, when they have done a good action, will always spoil it by crowing about it afterwards. But you don't do that good action, and don't crow afterwards. Why should a man's mind have been thrown into such close, sad, sensational, inexplicable contact with such a poignant query as to the gratuitousness of the smiles on the face of the Creator? Now let us sport us while we may, and now, like amorous birds of prey, rather at once our time devour than languish in his slow-chipped power. Times, experiences, and emotions are shown for what they are as soon as they are represented as a whole, for then they reveal their intrinsic nature and come to life. Why is it that a woman can see from a distance what a man cannot see close? The voice of love seemed to call her nearer. It was not a loud voice, but it was very penetrating, and she was bent on hearing it. It is difficult for a woman to define her feelings in language which is chiefly made by men to express theirs. But a wife was a possession. A lover without indolence is a lover of sobriety. Ease is the best teacher of pride. It is difficult for a woman to define her feelings in language which is chiefly made by men to express theirs. I have said that a woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction, and that, as you will see, leaves the great problem of the true nature of woman and the true nature of fiction unsolved. I perceive the world may be the worse for me, and those that come after, since passion tends to its barrenness. A strong woman may be stronger than a man, particularly if she happens to have love in her soul. I said to myself, I ought to have found time to love my wife, and I made a greater effort in that direction than I have ever made before. I feel I'm in the mood now where if somebody told me to get rid of this piano, I'd set about doing it somehow.